In terms of the logistics of the course, there are 5 things that I would like to discuss with you for the benefit of those who could not attend classes because they are in other countries outside South Africa. My Econ Lab, on your slides that you can download from EDS, there is a code. That code comes from me, and you must use that code to register yourself as a student on myeconlab.com. Go to that website, look at the last slide of the presentation slides that I've discussed in classes, which are also posted on EDS. Go to that website, I've indicated there very clearly, and use the code that I have given to you to register yourself. In the middle, after you've done that, you'd be registered on My Econ Lab, but you would still need another code to register for the course itself, to register someone, and that code will come from the textbook. So you need 2 codes. First, you use the code that I've given to you. Later on, the website will ask you for the code, another code, and that code must come from the textbook. So inside your textbook, there is a packet, there's like an envelope. That envelope, you must open it up and then use that code, and then you'd be fine. You'd be in this course. And it would be the 11th edition. 11th edition, it would be an MBL economics course, 11th edition. And once you registered, please go and do all the quizzes, the exercises, and take all the cues that would be given to you from My Econ Lab, the website. It's a really wonderful tool, and to master this subject, you have to practice. So use the questions that are there, the quizzes, see how they do graphs, you know, and play around with the exercises in the website. Okay. The next thing, I am uploading on EDS mini tests. These mini tests ask you questions, you know, that you need to work out. Some of the questions about working out solutions. You know, in the mini tests, I must say that I don't ask you questions that need lots of discussion, but needs you to work out various concepts. Please do those mini tests. Why? Because the mini tests are a good guide to you on what is going to be tested in the exam. And not only on what, but on how that is going to be tested in the exam. So, and I'm not saying that the questions that are coming from the tests are going to be in the exam, but though it's a guideline. So if you can do well in those tests, chances are you will do well in the exam. Therefore, you have to do these mini tests as though you were in a test environment. Don't wait for me to post to you the solutions for the questions. Do them yourselves, and later on I'll post various solutions. Okay? The May test. The May test is an MCQ only. The May test, it is only MCQ based, and it covers the whole syllabus. It covers the whole syllabus. So all the chapters that have been prescribed, chapter 1 to chapter 5, I think it's then chapter 12 and 13. Please go through your overview later. It would indicate to you, I think it's 12 and 13. Just check that. And then it's 19 up until 30, if I'm not mistaken. But please just verify, okay? Please verify and make sure that you go through all the chapters that I'm telling you on my overview. Okay, the overview letter. The syllabus is given down to you there, the overview letter. And by the way, for all the other chapters that we did not discuss, you have to read them at your own leisure. So for instance, I may not have discussed chapter 12 and 13, perfectly competitive markets compared to a monopolist. in these videos because that would take time. I also did not discuss in depth the labor market. I also did not discuss in depth economic growth in lectures as well as in these videos. Those you have, it's self-reading, you have to read on your own. Alright. But make sure you read everything because everything is going to be covered in the May test, MCQ test. And then, by the way, you can also follow the schedule, that I've given to you. I've given you some tip, how much to read per week for you to be able to be finished by the time you have to write the test. And then sometime before the exam, please revise everything again because you'll be writing it in the exam. So the first semester is for the economics part. The second semester is for the global environment module, okay, which is part B of MBL 916Q. The assignments are due very, very soon. What I want to say about the assignment, that make sure that your referencing is correct. Make sure that you've consulted the various references, some of which I've indicated you to. I said to you, please consult Public Economics, the textbook called Public Economics. If you can get hands on this book, do so. You can also consult other textbooks that are titled Public Economics. And in those textbooks, consult a section on taxation. In this textbook, that section on taxation is part 3. So part 3, make sure you read part 3 of this textbook. And that part really will give you the theoretical grounding for you to be able to discuss your assignment. All right. And another thing, if you did not reference properly, you are not going to pass the assignment. If there is plagiarism in your assignment, you are not going to pass that assignment. And I'm going to be running your assignment on a website called Turnitin to pick out whether, if I suspect instances of plagiarism, I'll run it onto Turnitin. It will compare it to your colleagues, what they have done, it will compare it to. So websites, do not copy and paste from website, from any text. Make sure this is original work from the group. Otherwise, you're not going to pass. And it's stipulated very clearly in your overview letter what the penalties are for bad referencing to start off with, as well as for just plain plagiarism. All right. Then the exam. The exam is divided into section A and section B. Section A is economics, and this section equals 50 marks. Section B also equals 50 marks, but Professor Smith is going to talk to you about what is going to be in section B. So section B divided into 50 marks. There's probably 4 questions in the exam, and some of the questions are discussion questions. Okay, some of the questions are discussion, but it's not just discussion out of your own head. You'll be given parameters, discuss a model, discuss something within a model, whatever model that is going to be. And then some questions will be, calculations, calculate. you'll be working out sums, but it would all be around a particular end. Why are you working out a particular sum? Probably as an advisor, you have to give advice to the minister, and then you have to compare two policies, then you have to work out, sum for you to be able to work out the answers to which one is the best option for your minister. And then there will be MCQs again. One of the questions will be MCQs. Now, what I want to say about MCQs, make sure that you put down the answers to your MCQ also on your answer sheet, so that if the yellow sheet that you use for pencil gets misplaced for whatever reason, for students who live outside the country, so do this twice, okay? So if your answer to question 1 is B or A, whatever, 2 is B, 3 is D, make sure that you write this down on your answer sheet as well, so that whatever happens to your yellow sheet that goes to the computer, I still have your answers on your answer sheet where you've written all your discussion. So at the end, make sure that you write this as well. For me, that is very important. Okay. In any case, I have also made somebody also available. If you have never done economics and you realize that, oops, really, even though I've gone through the slides, even though I've watched the videos, I'm still struggling, I really, really need help, I've given you a contact person who can help you. Some of you may decide to do this after you've written your test because you think, oh, I didn't pass, maybe I do need tutoring. So I'm not a tutor, right? I'm your lecturer. I can't sit with you at an individual level going through every chapter in detail. I simply can't do that with 600 students. But so what I've made available is somebody who can help you do that. So that's like attending private classes. Now, if you're doing some of the assignments or some of the mini tests and you've got a question that you need to ask me, then you can send me that question, but you need to tell me, this is my question, and show me how you've attempted to answer that question. If you just ask me a question, you don't show me your attempts at that question, I'm going to ask you to try it out first, and then I want to see where you went wrong. So you've read, you've tried to understand, and where you're losing. So, but the tutor is going to teach you each step. He's going to start from section 1, section 2, because that's and it would depend on what you think is more difficult, which chapter is more difficult for you, and then he will attempt that chapter with you. But he will can come to your house, or you can have a Skype discussion, however you want to do it, and that's between you and the tutor. All right, and I've made this available especially for the students who've never done economics before, because I'm trying to get everybody at the same level. All right, so enjoy this course, and I hope you really, really do well. It's a reflection on my teaching as well. So after you've written your exam, my exam starts. So I need you guys to do very well for this course.